you ever have one of those days where you wake up and you think to yourself, or maybe you don't wake up, but you just look around and you say, "This is the weirdest thing." I have that every day, by the way. Every day. See, I don't fit in. I think you know that by now, right? I know you don't. I look around and I say to myself, I don't understand what is happening. Give you an example. First, I happen to be listening, watching my YouTube, YouTube on my iPad, and they do these kind of routines, where they go through stuff. They kind of there's like a rotation kind of a deal. You know what I mean? And there's rotation. Anyway, make a long story short, there I am, and I'm watching this rotation, and I'm doing this stuff, and all of a sudden, what I'm seeing, which is the strangest deal, but what I'm seeing is this weird, um, I don't know what the word is. I'm seeing this strange thing, and I'm looking, I'm saying, "What is this? What am I watching? What is going on here?" And I look, and lo and behold, it's Billy Crystal. I thought, "Oh, Billy Crystal, I like him." I think he's one of the most talented people anybody has ever even remotely seen. I think he is one of the most talented people anybody has ever seen, ever. He is so talented, not even remotely funny. Okay, just so incredibly talented. You can't believe how talented he is. Dear God, is he talented? You can't believe how talented this man is. Okay. And I was looking at something and I'm thinking, I don't, there's something there's something wrong with this. Something wrong with Billy. What's going on? What is this? Is he okay? I'm looking at him and it's like, I don't know what's going on here. This is very odd, very strange. And lo and behold, I look, and you know what it is? You know what it is? He's got a rug on. He has a rug. He has a rug. And it's gray. And you know what I feel about that? He has, let me see if I can explain this to you. He has I gotta say this again. He has a gray toupee. And all my life, I've gone up to people, I'm saying, you don't understand what that means. It's artificial, fake hair made to appear gray. Does this make sense to you? Fake hair that's fake gray. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in my life. And I thought to myself, don't tell me this man is stupid enough to do that. Don't tell me Billy Crystal is allowing himself. Okay? I got to stop right now. Somebody writes, "What the hell? Something weird going on here. Is it just my channel or what? There are no comments but mine. Oh, God." I'm seeing this. The world is turning in to shite. And it's just okay. It's okay. Just a little glitch. Sometimes things happen. I could explain it to you. Don't you love this? What's going on? What the hell? What the hell? God. How is this happening? I keep looking, there's no chat. There's no comments. What the hell is going on here? I don't want to hear about Gaza. I don't want to hear about this. I came on and there's no comments but mine. Oh, Jesus. God. Am I the only one here? As the kids would say, dude, Take it easy. Relax. This is my world. Everything is nuts. Billy Crystal's got a gray tube. This poor guy is screaming and yelling like Louis C.K. said it best. He was actually very, very funny, very good, very smart. When people would complain about there's no internet, I can't believe this. I'm in a plane and there's no internet. Do I have to wait? You're in a plane and you don't realize this. Do you see what's happening? I just saw something was wrong. I came in and I was. Don't do that again to me. I was the only one. It's like the Burgess Meredith, the Twilight Zone. He's the only guy. He's got the glasses in the library that blew up. Jesus. I was the only one. I was the only one. Make it stop. Okay. Now, I think we've all figured out we're all going to be okay. Everything all right? Okay, good. Now, second thing I've noticed, which also freaked me out like you can't believe, and this is the story of my life today. Let me explain this to you, okay? Let me explain this to you. All of the people that I used to despise, I'm going to be, as my friend says, I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can be, okay? I was watching, going through my YouTube, again, I see these things on rotation and, whatever it is. And lo and behold, it would happen to be an Amy Goodman thing. Amy Goodman used to be somebody that I would rather lick a belt sander at high speed than listen to Amy Goodman. I thought Amy Goodman was the most absolutely boring and irrelevant. And it wasn't because she's a lefty. I just thought she's just the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like one show, one look, one phrase, one expression, one thing. She was on an interview with Noam Chomsky. Oh, God, Noam Chomsky. Oh, dear God, Noam Chomsky. Oh, Lord. Noam Chomsky. I'd like to see Noam Chomsky and Norman Finkelstein in an argument. I feel like... Have you seen have you seen it? He looks like I don't know what he looks like. He's I think he's got dermatitis or something. Does not look well, but he's got the beard and he's a genius. The guy is like 150 years old, so old he farts dust. And I thought to myself, oh my God, Noam Chomsky. And I'm thinking, this guy makes so much sense. This guy makes so much sense. It's something I think, oh my God. Amy Goodman is now making sense when it comes to Israel. I'll tell you why. Qualifiedly. So anyway, so I was looking at this thing. I saw a woman, so help me God. This is terrible. This is cool. I'm not going to give you her name. Doesn't matter what her name is. And I'm going to be sufficiently vague so you don't know who I'm talking about. And it's not that, women have to be attractive. This woman looked like not a man, not I don't know what this person, not binary, just scary, weird. Oh, I thought, dear God, this is the freakiest thing I've ever seen. She's going to be some crazy lefty loon. And she's talking about the people of Gaza. And I'm saying, not Israel, but the people of Gaza. I said, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And then I'm just going through these things. And I'm thinking to myself, these people, is anybody listening? Nah, they're lefties. And people were actually getting excited over, maybe you can help me with this. Tucker Carlson was on Tim Pool, the guy with a hat, with a watch cap or whatever the hell he is. And they're talking about Nikki Haley. This is the same thing as like when that moron Portnoy comes out with a piece of pizza, goes, "There's no sag. It's got no sag at the bottom of the pizza. Look at the pizza. Look, it doesn't have a sag. Good bottom burn. Got a nice chaw. It's a piece. It's a pizza. What are you talking about? There's a chaw. I give it a 9.43. 9 billion people watching this. 20,000 people, whatever, killed in Gaza. Nobody's even listening to that. Nobody's even talking about that. But this guy's discussing cheese pizza. Pizza. I don't know. And then in the conservative channel, and then this other, I'm going, is anybody, I want some news. Here's one by part. Don Jr. slams Mitch McConnell or something like that. I give up. I don't know where this is. Rudy Giuliani, they're going to grind him into dirt. How did he cause $148 million worth of damage? Now, I'm not saying he didn't defame these women. I'm not saying they didn't suffer. Where did you get 100? And please defame me, please. This guy doesn't have a pot to piss in. Rudy's off the chart. Okay. You got a lunatic in Prague. You've got people talking about stuff, and the big story is Nikki Haley. And this is it. Now let me explain something to you. I want you to explain, tell you what I think, because I'm seeing this right now. I never discuss Israel, Palestine, occupation versus annexation, apartheid, genocide, ethnic cleansing, siege, 242, 123. Never discuss it. Never get involved. Well, do you think that's apartheid? Don't get into that, because then you're getting into the definition of what's apartheid, what's not. Does it account? Is it apartheid? And right now, if I want to sit down, and I wish to God I could say, and here's Jesus, okay? Especially all these phony Christians. Oh, I know all these Christians. They're just so phony. They got the cross. I love my Lord Jesus Christ. They're okay, fine. They're just full of shit. They don't know what they're Christian guns. It's part of the thing, But imagine me telling Jesus, you're not going to believe this. Your people, your chosen people, you, whatever it is, they're killing 20,000 people in order to find Hamas. And Jesus would say, well, Hamas isn't all there. I know. What if they went to Gaza and they just leveled it? Absolutely leveled it. Leveled every part of it. Killed every man, woman, child, dog, goat, pet, every living thing. If you just saw, Gaza was a smoldering ash heap from here, what is it, 22 miles, whatever, I don't even know. But anyway, they're gone. Is Hamas gone? You say, well, that was Hamas. They won't reconstitute anymore. They can't, because Hamas only has to work from Gaza. You can't put Hamas anyplace else. Hamas can't work in the West Bank. Hamas can't move to Jordan. Hamas can't, they're all there. So now that you've killed everybody in Gaza, you therefore obviously killed everybody in Hamas. So there will be no more Hamas terrorism. Anybody think that's even remotely possible? Anybody? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. I don't understand this. This is the most amazing thing. What is happening here? I'm talking about these people. So who am I listening to? People, the only people who are talking about people dying is Amy Goodman, Norman Finkelstein. Now they talk about other stuff. They talk about things of they're anti-Zionist. I don't get into that. Don't bother with that. Because when you get into that, then they're going to sidetrack you. Then you're going to get into arguments about what do you mean Zionism? I didn't say Zion. I didn't bring that up. Oh, so is this against it? I didn't say Israel. I said I want those people to stop dying, to stop being killed. You know what those kids are going to be like for the rest. If they make it, do you know what kind of what they're going to be like for the rest of their life? Scarred. Do you see these explosions? Do you know what that sounds like? Can you just imagine you somehow make it? You see this. You see these smoke, these billows. Just I don't understand any of this stuff. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And Americans are the most stupid people. They're just, well, whatever. I saw there's a debate. You must see it. There's a woman. You got to see this. I talk about this in my private channel in much greater detail. And I give you all kinds of great examples of people absolutely being handed their ass like you cannot believe. And one of the things, there was a Brianna Gay. Anyway, it's on The Rising. And she was in a debate with Alan Dershowitz. And it wasn't funny at all. But let me tell you what happened. She's part of The Rising. She has balls of, I mean, just tungsten, titanium, like you can't believe. She'll go after anybody. And she is 100%, she is anti-Israel. That's not me. I'm pro Gazan citizen. I want death to stop. But she'll go full tilt boogie, anti-Zionism, anti-this, anti-apartheid, whatever it is. Also, a crystal ball from Breaking Point or whatever it is. It should be called Breaking Balls is what should be. She's the other one too. I mean, absolutely. They get a look in their face. I mean, they are just. And again, I am not here to discuss Zionism. I just that's not my. It's never been, frankly, of interest to me. Never. It's not my thing. I'm not Jewish. I love Israel. Go for me or whatever. Live and let live. Mazel tov. Have a great time. Shalom. All right. So she's on with Alan Dershowitz, and there's this guy Robbie. This poor guy Robbie. Robbie is a ballless. He's a gelding. This is on the Rising. I love this show. You will never see that poor morning Fox News of the guy who can't pronounce English. Oh God. Send him to a diner. Just get him out of here. He can't speak English. I know. Just get him out of here. But send him to a diner. Get him out of here. So anyway, so they have Dershowitz on. And Dershowitz, somebody's got to work on his camera angle. It's like, don't go up your nose. But change the angle. Get a different thing. Whatever. So he's doing his stuff and he's talking about, I don't know, the 14th Amendment or whatever it is. And she says, Professor, while we're here, I'd like to discuss with you Gaza. And you can look into it. And with all due respect, Alan Dershowitz has been saying the same thing on October the 7th, November the 7th, and December the 7th. There's just the same thing. If you go back and listen to him, I'm not saying he's wrong, but it comes down to this. Hamas is a terrorist organization. Hamas is responsible. Every time Israel's tried to make it a deal with Palestinians and Hamas, as Abba Eben said, they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. And they do this. And it's the same argument. Meanwhile, kids are being vaporized. And we're talking like this is a debate about, well, there was a Palestinian, there was the Oslo Accords, Abraham Accords. Well, there was a green zone. Well, the Palestinians, we got Abu Mazen. Well, then 1948, the Nakba. Okay. Meanwhile, it's just, are we still talking about this? And Brianna is, instead of talking about Zion, but at least she's talking. Anyway, make a long story short, as she's talking to him, for some reason, whenever she's talking, his mic turns off. And he's going nuts. And he said, "You're not a host. You're not a moderator. You're testifying. Now let me talk." Just a minute. I let you talk. You did not let me talk. You did not let me talk. Then she brings up Norman Finkelstein. Susquehanna Ad Company. That ridiculous man's a fraud. Don't you dare mention it. It's some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Okay, let's change channels. Hey, what are you talking about? Well, we're talking about whether Nikki Haley could beat Trump in the Vermont or New Hampshire. Okay. Don Jr. Okay. That's where we are right now. I can't believe this. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Let me also tell you something which is important. I know that you got to understand something. I have no religious, nothing. I am irreligious. All I think about is there are little kids, there's people being killed here. We got to stop this. You can say, whoa. We'll get to the Hamas later. We'll send in peacekeepers. We'll do whatever you want. You got to stop this bullshit now. Enough. You understand this? As a human being, what do you need when they pull these little babies out of piles? And there have been, listen, and whenever you say this, people say, well, what about October the 7th? What about October the 7th? It's horrible too. That's ridiculous. Are they still doing this? October the 7th? No. Okay. Well, let's answer this first. And if those bastards do October the 7th again, I'm right with you. Why do you keep changing the topic? Whenever I bring up, when you see this poor kid who's gray with the soot, gray with the pyroclastic pumice, gray from the pulverized concrete and dirt, and they're like these little dolls, these dead, smashed, once living, breathing, cute little babies pulled out. Parents, just doctors with a phone and maybe a light from the phone. And what are we doing? The hell are we doing? Brianna Joy Gray shows up well prepared. She certainly does. And what about Robbie? This poor guy. He's a little shin god. He's a libertarian. Libertarian means I don't know what I'm talking about. I got to pick a name. I can't believe what I'm saying. I can't believe what I'm saying. And they're always talking about the same thing. Yeah, but October the 7th, enough with October the 7th. Because that's the end. Just talk about October the 7th. And lure them away. Talk about things like, oh, so is this apartheid? Do you think this is, I didn't mention apartheid. Well, do you think it's apartheid? Don't answer whether it's apartheid. Don't talk about the history of Hamas, how Israel had funded this. This was Sharon's idea. Don't get into Zionism and Herzl. You know what? That has nothing. You let other people, that's not your area. Let them talk about that. They're far more qualified, far more schooled. And if somebody wants to argue Judaism versus Islam, knock yourself out. I'm not there. When there's inhumanity, you don't sit there and talk about the finer points. Yes, but who exactly is being exterminated? Yes, well, they maybe. What kind of Christians? Are they Coptic Christians? Well, was the Holocaust really in Germany or was it in Poland? Is this I heard somebody say, well, that's not a death camp. Excuse me, it's a concentration camp. Death camp's a different story. But you kidding me? I actually heard this. We're nuts. We have become so toughened by this. America is about to get screwed, so bend over and be ready to grab in your wee ankles. Let me tell you what they're going to do. Somebody's going to sit there and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this, but good. And something, I'm telling you, is going to happen. And what are you going to do? When all of a sudden Cleveland, I keep saying Cleveland has such an American place, Cleveland all of a sudden has some mall or some business that's just destroyed. People are killed. Just absolute horrors. Then, what happens then? What are you going to do then? What are you going to say then? You're going to argue Zionism? What if there's an explosion, people are killed, nobody leaves a calling card? What are you going to do? Well, you'll guess. I know what you do. Well, that's a false flag. How do you know? Well, I'm an expert in this. Really? How do you know what a false flag is? Well, I just noticed. What's going on? I mean, then people will care about it. Then they'll care about it. Primary all Zionist stooges in Congress. You see what we're doing? I mean, this is great, but how do we stop killing a human being? Get through a sentence. Don't use the word Zionist, Israel, Palestine, Arafat. Leave that out. Leave it out. We had no problem saying we've got to stop the Holocaust. They didn't sit there and say, well, is this National Socialism? Well, actually, Brown Brothers Harriman and Prescott Bush actually were the original. They bankrolled Hitler. I don't know why people do this. Excuse me, what are you doing? Well, I'm giving you the history of Union Bank. Excuse me. How do we stop the Holocaust? What are you doing? I'm going to show you. I just know all this stuff. I'm going to give you a clip, a quip, a phrase. I'm going to show you that. I don't want a phrase. I don't want to hear about that. When FDR turned the St. Louis away, what the hell is that all about? Well, St. Louis, was this a troop ship or was it a battle or was it converted? We love to argue shite. We miss the point. If people were watching the actual crucifixion of Jesus Christ, I swear to God, people here would say, well, you notice the nail goes through here, not here, as is depicted by most Roman pay, but it's right here. And also notice how the foot is one on top of it and the ankles are broken because it's asphyxiation that kills normally the lethality. That's what we would be doing. We'd be arguing, stuff that just doesn't even matter, in order to show everybody else, see, I know the phrases. I know the phrases. Well, they had their Barabbas. I guess it's the Pharisees. I guess this Caiaphas. Excuse me. This is the Son of God being, and you're. What are you doing? Well, I'm just letting you know that I just know all these names, and I know these people, and I'm not some regular villager here. I know what's going on here. Now somebody writes, invade Israel. There's no hope. And you're in the military. That's just say that. What? Just say invade Israel. But that's bullshit. I know. That's why I said it. Invade it. We'll start north, right around north of in Lebanon, and we'll move up. I don't know why I bother. I think it's like no matter how, if there was a baby in a high chair, and that baby, and I'm saying, now listen, let me back here. Here you go. Okay, now listen. I want to explain to you. This is called differential calculus. Pay attention. Okay. Derivative of 4x is 4. Okay. The derivative of 2x squared is 4x. Are you paying? Look at me. Look at me. Tollens test is a reagent test used in organic chemistry. Would you look at me? This kid's not paying attention. He's an infant. I know. This is the way I feel. I feel like I'm saying it, and it's like, and people want to talk about things that just don't matter. Hey, did you see Charlie Kirk was on that Turning Point? Did you see that? Oh, that's great. Boy, Greg Kelly had a good. Did you? That was a good one. I'll send it to you. Did you really? Yeah, I'll send it to you. That was a great one. Meanwhile, Jesus is saying, "Are you paying? Hey, hear about that Tesla? They got a high accident rate. They sure do. Yeah. You know, they got that 14th Amendment. I don't know who that is. Even enthusiasm low for Biden in hometown. These are stories. I'm looking at one of the premier. This is what was called Breitbart, and they're talking about. Well, I think they're losing. I think they're losing their steam. Hillary uses meeting with hostage families to attack Netanyahu. Why is she meeting? Listen, if you're a family, okay, if you're a family, you're going to talk to anybody, and God bless her. If Hillary can do something about this, if Hillary can do anything about this, God bless her. God bless her if she can do something. But I can see people saying, listen, Hillary, when you talk to the family, make sure you talk about things like Zionism. Make sure you say that. What? Yes, do that. Make the family members know you know what you're talking about. Use that. And by the way, distinguish between occupation and annexation. They love that. They love that stuff. But that doesn't help anything. Who wants to help anything? Hillary, you've got to make sure you never don't get too deep into this, because frankly, Americans don't care that much about it, because we want to talk about things like Carrie Lake, we want to talk about Trump, maybe a little bit about Rudy, maybe we'll talk about Hunter Biden again. That's a big story. And I'm thinking to myself, I used to always say, how did the world not react when they knew there was a Holocaust going on? I know how that happened. Because people are like, well, Christmas is coming, and well, we get off early and got to get did you get the tree? I mailed that card. You didn't get my Christmas card? Yeah, I mailed it to you. Damn. I don't want people to walk around in hair shirts. I don't want people to go out and cry. I don't want any of that. But people in business and Fox News, Ainsley and people talking about Bob. I like to say, Ainsley, come here. I'm going to show you something. I want you to sit here. Now, I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to play. I'm not going to actually bomb you, but I'm going to play for you an exact replica of what it sounds like when one of those 2,000-pound monsters go off about a half a mile away. I want you to hear this, okay? Now cover your ears. Get ready. Even with your ears covered, I'm going to put them. I want you to hear this. That's just one. And you're not going to be able, you're going to feel this pulse, this rattle all day long. You're going to be, and meanwhile, what are you doing? You're repeating a bunch of drivel and sending that drool out to diners to mispronounce food. So let me just tell you something. When it comes to human beings, I don't know. I guess I'm connected to them. Sparky says it's a major league mistake not to differentiate Zionists from Israelis or Jews. Otherwise, you invite anti-Semitism. Sparky, did you hear what I said? You have not mentioned one word, and I thank you for this, by the way. You've not mentioned, what is it, 20,000 people being slaughtered because of an attempt to go. We're talking about, now you got to say Zionist. See, because if you don't say Zionist, then they get confused. Meanwhile, somebody's picking out, I found a finger. That's okay. Is it a Zionist finger? I don't know. Okay. Do you see where I am? By the way, show of hands. Who is just thoroughly disgusted to be a human being right now? Here we are in this big YouTube world, and we're talking total shite. How many of you fine people cannot believe you share DNA with these people who are just looking and saying, you just want to call names out. You just want to call names. I can't believe that people are saying, this is going to stop now. Now, President Trump, if you were smart, get on the phone and you call Bibi Netanyahu and say, I want this to stop now. I don't care if you call it a ceasefire. I don't care if you call it an interruption, a pause, an intermission, a moratorium. This has got to stop because it's over. It's done. You are recruiting more Hamas fighters than you could ever imagine. And what they're saying is, you don't want to kill Hamas. You just want to get rid of these people. And you just want them to leave. And I take you at your word when you say that's not it. So stop this. Sparky says, Reagan stopped Menachem Begin of the King David Hotel fame in his tracks in Lebanon in 1982 with a phone call. But I don't think that Israel had full control of the Congress yet. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's true. You don't think there's any, do you know what it's like? The world, it's not me saying this, the world. And by the way, to be fair, do you know why Menachem Begin did attack the King David Hotel? Because that was being used as a military operation source. That was one place. That's a little different than saying, I'm going to take out Tel Aviv because the King David Hotel is in there. Do you hear what I'm saying? The world is not going to forget this. This is just, and they're looking at us and they're going to say, don't tell me about it. Xi Jinping is saying, how do you tell Putin, hey, Putin, cut your savagery out? My savagery? You don't see me going and wiping out. I'm not wiping out Ukraine. Not even close. I had 190,000 people. It would have taken 2 million to take Kyiv. I don't want Kyiv. I don't want Ukraine. Never did. I'm in a hurry. You made it out to be. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand. And people will say, well, Ukraine's different. Why? Well, you notice Victoria Nuland's kind of quiet. She doesn't care about that. Notice how NATO says, no, we've got a hard on for Russia. That's our thing. Whatever you want to do that's it. Meanwhile, the world is sitting back and they're saying, wow. And I guarantee you, there was a time and we would have had somebody like George Mitchell or somebody with, like a Reagan or a Nixon or somebody, or Kissinger would say, I want you to end this now. And we know how to do it. We're going to bring in some people. We're going to have to make some favors. And we're going to have to extend some. But what do you want to do? Just blow up the whole thing? Is that it? Is that it? Do you just want to blow up the entire, just all of Gaza? All of it? Why is that? Lionel, we're very limited in what we're allowed to say in Super Chats. Words or phrases about what's happening over there are largely forbidden. Sparky, you have not missed a beat in your coded words. Your analysis, by the way, has been spot on, and you have figured a way around that. And believe me, if you think that somehow you're fooling the algorithm by saying Zionist, Sigh, Israel with a Z, if you think that's it, my friends, I don't think this is something that, again, it's that baby I'm trying to teach, organic chemistry to. It's just not connecting because people are saying, I don't know. I don't hear this. I know I'm supposed to be upset about this. I know there are people dying. I know most Americans say, I just don't care. They've always fought and they got fighting here. I just got done with the Ukraine thing. Look, it's Christmas. I don't know what the hell. It'll work out. Don't worry. It'll work out. It'll work out. Right? That's what people say. It'll work out. BB's on his way out. Trump will do something. Don't worry about it. I don't have time for this. I gotta go. I gotta pick up the honey baked ham. It's the season. I don't and I'm going to see that big Tim Pool interview with Tucker Carlson. Ooh, boy, that's a good one. Yeah, that's riveting. Meanwhile, this is it's not a Holocaust. It's not anything. I don't want to get into those definitions, but it is something that is so monumentally colossal. I can't believe is happening. And what I can't believe even more so is the level of, what are you going to do? It's crazy, isn't it? That's what a friend of mine always says. Everything you say, what do you think about East Timor? Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. That's as deep as we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful day. Don't let this get you. Don't worry about it. Just do whatever you want to do. I understand. It'll work out. We'll be back mañana tomorrow. By the way, here's that if you want to hear some serious stuff about it, nasty stuff, let me know. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Don't be upset. It's all right. It's going to work out okay. Don't worry about it. It's only, whatever. Look, October 7th. What do you want? What do you want? They asked for it. That's it. They should have thought about that. That's it. End of discussion, right? Thanks, good friend. Don't ever lose your heart. Don't ever lose your compassion. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.